Hey my friends, it's your brother Zen bringing you another message of love from above. Today's reading is going to be for the Libra season, which we're entering in on September 22nd. And of course that'll go through October 23rd until we go into Scorpio season. So what I thought I'd do today is do an overall Libra season reading for everyone, just to see what kind of energies we'll be kind of going through during those period of time there. Then I was going to do a special birthday reading for all you Libras who have a sun sign in Libra. Happy birthday to you. And also if you have Libra anywhere else in your birth chart, you can also look at that reading as well. And then I'm going to do a third special reading as well for the Libra Moon. So if that is you, check that out. And if you're not sure where your moon sign falls in your birth chart, or if you not sure if Libra shows up anywhere in your birth chart, I'll go ahead and put a link in the description box below where you can get a free kind of birth chart through a third-party provider that I'm not affiliated with, but it's a free site. So hey, why not? So we'll go ahead and jump into your reading. Enjoy. All right, so this reading is going to be just for everyone in the collective, just all of us, without whether you have Libra in your chart or not. It's just going to be for everyone, just to kind of see what the Libra season is going to be bringing us from September 22nd through October 23rd. So I'm going to start off just doing a oracle card for us from this deck, the Colette Baron-Reid, the Enchanted mat, just to get an overall energy of what that time period is going to bring us. So we'll start with that. Let's see what we have coming for us. Alright, Creator, and all our angels and guides, we just invite you to give us the messages that we need. So what's our overall energy going to be like for that period of time for Libra season? What's going to be our experience during that Libra season? There we go. A one-ring circus! Yay! Sounds like a lot of fun, don't it? That's number 15, so 5 and 1 is also a 6. Beautiful card there. Put that right here. Let's see what that number 15 card means. I'm just going to read a little excerpt from her book here. Excellent, I love it. You are capable and competent. Hallelujah. So independence is key now as you step into your journey. Others may not have the vision or resources that you need. Recognize that all the wisdom you've acquired along the way makes you particularly competent, capable of moving forward with assurance. Self-reliance is important. Another aspect to consider is creating and maintaining clear boundaries between you and another. Be discerning about your partnerships at this time. When you know who you are and have a healthy sense of where you end and others begin, you're able to enter into the best kind of relationships and will attract people who mirror back your wholeness. Interdependent relationships are always mutually supportive, stimulating, and transformative. You can achieve anything at this time. Woohoo! So that's a good energy to go into Libra season there, which makes sense because Libra is kind of a balancer, and they like to get things done too. So I think that is going to be a good energy to work with. Next what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull 3 cards from this deck. This is my personal oracle deck that I'm currently working on with the creator. Not available yet to the public, of course. what I'm going to do is pull one card that is kind of showing us where we're coming from as we enter into that, around that week of September 22nd. And then the second card will be more the middle of what that is having us focus on, and like kind of the truths that are coming into our eyes, and then the third card will be what we do with that and kind of where that takes us next in our journey. So we'll first of all take a card here, say, where are we coming from? What kind of attitudes do we have coming in here? So I'm going to take this one right here. And this one is called the Parent Trap. And what this means, it has like a subtitle to it, which is disappointing dad and making mama cry, because it seems that's kind of where a lot of all our angst comes from in our life. It comes from our childhood, blah, blah, blah. We've all heard that before. All our conditioning and everything in life comes from, how our guardians treat us by praise and punishment when we're young. And, it can be teachers and parents and grandparents and pastors and, whatever it might be. It might even be older siblings that acted as our, parents and things like that. So that's where we're coming in from, is just this angst that we have about what is supposed to be, what should be going on, not letting our parents down, not letting our authorities down, all those types of things. And that can even be, from a spiritual sense, a feeling that we're letting God down. So that's where we're coming in. What's great is that, I'll put this up here so you can see it. What this is the higher wisdom advice that the Creator gives us. And it's showing us that basically what this represents is we're a world of children raising children. Because when you look at, this was the first child, and then they grew up and had a child, and then they grew up and had a child, and they grew up and had a child. But we never get a handbook, from anywhere telling us how to raise children. And we don't have a detailed book of what everything is supposed to mean and all that. So we're all kind of living on the fly. And what that says on the bottom, when it says a ceremony of adulthood, what that means is, especially along, much older in our history, there's still some things that go on, but we used to have a lot of ceremonies that celebrated us from turning from children into young adults. And there's still things like the bar mitzvahs, and I don't want to murder the name of the one. There's one, it's like the quinceañera or something like that in the Spanish culture, when the young girls turn into young women. But it basically, it started in tribal times, when the men would kind of kidnap the son and take him out into the wilderness, and he would go on a hunt with the men of the village and get a tattoo or whatever, his first killed and all that for food and stuff. And when he would return, everyone would then treat him like a young adult, and so he became a young adult. Same with, the young girls. The women would take the young girls away together and do their own kind of ceremonies and stuff, and would come back, and they would be, thought of as, okay, you're now a young woman. And the whole attitude change. Well, we kind of stopped that a lot in a lot of our population. So we never officially kind of make that transition from childhood to adulthood. So what this idea is, doing a ceremony of adulthood, is create something for yourself. It's like you can do it by yourself with no one else, or you can involve friends or family or whatever, and just do a little ceremony of letting the little child go and let the big you come in your life. It's really quite freeing. I did it myself, and it's just really such a, I don't know, it's mental, it's spiritual, and it just helps like take on a different attitude toward life. Less of I'm someone that has to be taken care of to someone that I now take care of myself. So it's very empowering. So you can take a look at that. What I'm going to do for the next card is, since this is a -1 on the bottom, I'm going to take one card from the bottom of the deck for our next one. And for this card, this is the Whispers, which is number 43, which also breaks down to number 7. And what this represents, so since this card is where we are, where this is bringing us to, and kind of what our focus can be during this month, is focusing on the whispers of love. This is what this represents. Our angels, listening to the Creator, to our spirit guides, to our ancestors, to those beautiful angels of people that we knew that have passed to the other side. There's so many unconditionally loving beings that are on the other side that are just wanting to support us on our path. And this is the time where they're saying, we want to talk to you. Try to get quiet, try to get to a place of peace. Take a lot of deep breaths and just calm down, get into quiet, get away from the news and social media and everywhere, even get out into nature, or just get into a place of quietness where you can just listen and listen with your heart. Because on the opposite side of any journal entry that you're writing, or any card reading, any prayer, any meditation, there's a host of unconditional loving, beings that are there for us, and they're just chanting, we love you, we love you, we love you, and it's an unconditional love. So where this is taking us is just into, step away from all the chaos that's going out there, get into a quiet place, get away from all that noise that's going out there, and come into a peaceful mind, in a place in your heart where you can listen and to see what they have to bring you, what kind of truths they have, to bring you. Awesome. Beautiful, beautiful. And since that's a 43, a 7, then what I'll do is I'll take 7 cards from the top to get our final card. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And this card is In Service of Love. And this is an amazing card to follow, this one, because it's just like it brings us from this place of chaos into this quiet place of unconditional love and peace. And then that allows us to be in service of love. Because what this card represents is how we can express our unconditional love to the world, as well as how can unconditional love be expressed to us. So it's kind of twofold. One, in that we can share our unconditional love with the world. Kind of goes with career and kind of fits into this card too, that you can do anything that we set our minds to. We're capable of it. And one of the biggest things I know for me is when I flow with unconditional love, everything just unfolds so gracefully and without all this chaos and with all those expectations and all of that. I just allow myself to give and to flow. And that can be something that, as far as like a career, if you're like, what do I want to do with my life? It's like, how do you want to share your unconditional love with the world? What is your passion? That is what it'll show you. When you get rooted in unconditional love and all those expectations of what you've grown up saying, this is who you should be, this is what kind of field you should do, this is what kind of work you should do. When we get away from that and we get grounded in unconditional love and let unconditional love define who we are, that frees us to express ourselves to our greatest ability. It allows us to express all these gifts that we've kind of stuffed down or downplayed because we thought that's not what I'm supposed to do in the world. So getting into this quiet place can help bring that to you. The second piece of it, about receiving unconditional love from others, something that this also allows us to do. For all those givers out there, everyone raise your hand, we hate to receive from others because that scares us. One of the things that we're taught is to give is wonderful because people need you, and what a wonderful feeling that is to our fear ego, the need to be needed, right? But what we fear is if I'm not able to give and someone wants to give to me, that almost comes across as weakness to us sometimes. But what we do is we forget that how good it feels when we're giving. When we don't allow others to give to us, we're cheating them of those feelings, of that wonderful, warm, feeling of being able to help and to give and do that. So that's something that will allow us to, when we get quiet and kind of secure in our love and who we are, it allows us to take a deep breath and allow someone, to pay for dinner without arguing over who's going to foot the bill, oh, I'm going to pay. No, you're going to, I'm going to pay, going back and forth. And even sometimes when people give you gifts and, oh, you shouldn't have, or I don't deserve this, or no, that's too much. Instead of downplaying the gift that they're giving, just say thank you. And it's wonderful. I love you. Maybe. What a concept, right? Very good. Well, that I'm going to end the reading there. I don't have anything else coming in here besides that Libra is ruled by the planet Venus, which is, of course, the planet of love and how you love and how you give. So something to consider along with that, just to kind of saw that and just affirm that as well. All right. Well, if you like this, if you want to, I'd appreciate just hitting like. It helps out my page there. And if you want to be kept in the loop on any other future readings that I'll be doing, you can just click the subscribe button and the little bell, and you'll get notified. But I definitely appreciate you allowing me to present this reading to you today. And I wish you the best and a wonderful, wonderful Libra season. I love you. You take care. Well, happy birthday, all you Libra suns that have birthdays between September 22nd and October 23rd this year. And if you, of course, this reading is also for any of you that have Libra in your chart at all, your birth chart, and under any of your planets. If you're not sure if you do or not, I'll go ahead and down in the description box below will be a link on how you can get a free little chart that will tell you where all your planets lie and what of the 12 houses and everything that are in. It's pretty cool. I don't get anything back from that. It's just a helpful tool for you on there. So I'm going to start off this little birthday reading for you and all you other Libras by pulling an overall card here from this angel guide deck from Kyle Gray, and just to get a little special message from your angels. And then I'll pull some other cards just to have a special birthday message for you. All right. How exciting. One more shuffle. All right. So, angels, what special message do you have for your Libras? What special message do you have for them? Alright, I'm going to take this one here. Look at that. Blessings and abundance. Very pretty. Put that right here. And let's grab from the book here and see what your message is. So a light of blessings and abundance is being wrapped around you now, and your angels want you to know that they are supporting you. They are encouraging you to trust in your intuition and any other guidance you are receiving at this time, as it will lead you toward tremendous growth and fulfillment. Many blessings are being showered upon your present situation. If you have not yet experienced them, know that they will be revealed and shared in the perfect time-space sequence. All the doors to abundance are now being opened to you. Angel wisdom is encouraging you to begin counting your blessings. Then you will be open to receiving even more of them. It's a great message of gratitude. There's an extended message that says abundance is the spiritual reward for trusting and sharing our gifts and talents. When we align our choices and actions with the highest good, we will be blessed with opportunities. At this time, you are in a place of deep spiritual connection and strength and are being given the opportunity to feel spiritually rich. Even if you are feeling sensitive or overwhelmed, the veil between this realm and heaven is thin, and you have light and support all around you. If you have any concerns about finances or assets, know that the hand of God is guiding your situation to a blessed outcome. Trust in your talents and the angels who are supporting you. Wow! What a happy birthday present that is. Very cool, very cool. Next what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this Osho Zen deck. And you can tell it's kind of an older deck, so it's kind of like you, getting older and older. Just kidding. So we'll see what additional messages that they have for you for your Libra season. Alright, what additional messages do you have for our Libras? And again, this is for not just the suns, but all of the others. I'm also going to do a separate reading for the moon, Libra moon signs, so just be aware of that as well. Okay, just a few more here. I feel like we're going to have a total of 5 cards, so we just do those 2. And one more. Okay, there we go. All right. So fighting. See how they're strangling each other over here. So right now what I'm feeling from this, I mean, and there's so much going on just in our daily lives right now that can put us into fight or flight mode. And so I really feel that what this card is telling you is that, you know, don't beat yourself up, you know, when you're feeling this way. Just know that you are protected, you know, like it mentioned in the card here, you know, you have protection. And no matter what is coming against us, no matter if it's, you know, physically, financially, emotionally, politically, weather, or whatever, I mean, take your pick these days, right? Whatever's coming your way, just know that all the fighting is happening in your mind. You know, all those supposed to be's, all those should be's, all those emotional monsters are what putting us into this fight or flight mode. So just know that you're protected during this time, and take a deep breath and let that calm you. You know, come to that peaceful place. And it's funny because they're saying, and you can choose to stop fighting because it does take 2 to tango. You know, if someone wants to fight, doesn't mean that you have to engage. You can take a deep breath. Something I heard the other day, which was like so fitting, that I'm like, you can, you know, someone says something that you disagree with, you could just say, oh, is that so? Okay. You don't have to try to convince them that your truth is truer, because what does that do? Battle! Kind of along those same lines. You have intensity. Life does feel kind of intense right now, you know. There's a lot going on. And everyone's life, of course, has different levels and different circumstances of intensity going on to it. But just know that you can handle it. What I'm kind of getting a message from this is a phoenix rising from the ashes, you know. It's like this, that no matter what is happening, just know that you're going to rise. One of my favorite kind of awarenesses in my life was, you know what? You have overcome every single challenge that has come your way up till this moment. And you know that because you're still here. So just know that you're more than a survivor. You know, you're a phoenix that no matter what happens, no matter how much, you know, destruction we might feel could come our way, just know that you would rise through it because you are a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. You never end. You will always rise through any situation. Wow, what a wonderful message that is. All right. Understanding. And it's perfect because what this is showing is kind of a progression. You know, this fighting of all the supposed to be's and all the things of the should, have to, need to, supposed to. Those are all the things that cage you in. But when we come to an understanding of, you know what? Whatever is happening. And I get to choose what it means about me or the world or the other people. So I can choose to set myself free and make my own choices. You know, I no longer have to go along with, you know, everything that I've been taught and told my entire life of how things are, you know, going to be and supposed to be. Like when this thing happens, that's what that means. And you're like, no, I can have it mean whatever I want it to mean. And that just sets you free where you can fly, you know, you're no longer caged. You can fly free and be at peace. So wonderful, wonderful message there. Oh, perfect. And this is healing. And what a wonderful follow-up for this card here, because one of the biggest things in life is, you know, when we're in fear and when we're in, you know, these conditions, when we're in that cage, what happens is when fight or flight mode actually takes our physical body into a kind of survival mode. Blood rushes from our brain so we don't think too much, and our digestive tract shuts down. It's supposed to be temporarily to get us out of danger. You know, all our muscles are flooded, so they ache, and our heart beats fast, our mouth goes dry, and all this kind of stuff. Well, if it's temporary, no harm, no foul, we go on. But if we're in that constant state of fight or flight, because of all these emotional, what I call dinosaurs, you know, they're not really threatening us, but in our mind, it threatens us. We're in that constant state of fight or flight, and so our body stops working at its highest healing capacity. When we free ourselves from all those conditional love laws and start looking at our life unconditionally, our body starts being less and less in fight or flight, and it actually starts to heal itself. So it actually is in our highest good physical health to kind of get to the root of all these conditional love laws and how we can free ourselves. So a wonderful thing there. Of course, that can be also help us with emotional healing as well, of course, because it's both emotional head and gut. So wonderful, wonderful. And the last card, oh wow, yep, perfect. Integration. So this card for me has special meaning for it, because I felt like the last couple of years have really been about discovering, this whole process of going from having my life defined for me by all these external things to turning inward and finding that unconditional love. You have the yin-yang, which we have our whole purpose of coming to this planet, I feel, is to experience the contrast. We're these light beings that, come from a spiritual place, and we're powerful, supernatural, eternal, and to kind of have an experiment or to dig in and understand more about who we are, because we're inquisitive, we come to this place that was created of contrast to realize what we're not. So that's that whole yin-yang, is just to experience more and more of who we are by experiencing what we're not. And at some point we wake up to that, which is this breaking free of this cage. And when we fly and are free, we can experience both at the same time. And we can integrate that unconditional love and our higher self into our earth walking experience. Most recently, over this last week, I had this kind of glimpse of the old movie Cocoon, where they basically were these higher, I think they're more alien beings, but I look at it as like spiritual beings of light that were walking around in human skin suits, doing whatever their mission was here. And I kind of feel like, oh wow, that is what we are. But we kind of chose to forget who we are for a bit to have the most extreme and intense experience. Because if we always remembered that we are these powerful beings, when we're born, it wouldn't be no big deal, because we're like, yeah, we know who we are. We know we are eternal. We know we last forever. I know this is just a little small space of at the around 120 years, if I live that long, I can get through this bit. If we don't remember who we are, then we freak out and get to experience fear to the biggest extent until we're ready to wake up, which is kind of what I'm getting this message here for you. Blessings and abundance. Just know that you are protected, you're being guided, and that this is a path for your birthday month or for the Libra season here. Is just to kind of face the fighting, face the intenseness with more understanding, and take some deep breaths and do some inner work, because in the end it's for your highest experience, and it's going to bring you peace and love and abundance and so many of those other wonderful things that come along with unconditional love. So I'm going to leave the reading there. If you like this video, please, if you don't mind, go ahead and hit like down below. And if you'd like to subscribe, it really helps out my channel. If you do subscribe, if you click that little notification bell, you'll get notified when I do my next reading that'll be coming up here soon. So I definitely appreciate you giving me the time to give you this reading. I wish you the best. I love you, and you take care. Alright, so this reading is going to be for those of you who are Libra moons. So your moon sign is in the sign of Libra. If you're unsure, I mentioned, if you didn't listen to it in the beginning, I'm going to provide a link down below that you can go to actually get your minimized birth chart, and that'll tell you what your moon sign and all the other planets are too. No charge for those. It's a third party that I'm not affiliated with, but they're really cool site, so I'll give that to you. What I'm going to start off with is reading from this Moonology Oracle Guidebook for your full moon in Libra. It kind of gives the essence, I would say, of kind of if you have your moon in Libra, when the full moon is in your sign, then it really impacts your emotional side. And here it says, a win-win outcome is forecast. So full moon in Libra. I'll go ahead and put that here. Let me grab that full moon in Libra. Sorry, I should have been to that page already. Alright, there it goes. So, a win-win outcome is forecast. The full moon in Libra, the sign of partnership, of falling in love, and of closely relating to someone else. Since full moons are about climaxes and conclusions, this card suggests you're either about to start a new relationship or that an important existing relationship is changing somehow, perhaps coming to an end or moving to a new level of commitment. It's important to remember that people come to us for a reason, and sometimes just for a season. If a relationship is ending now, it's doing so at the right time, so try not to fight it. This card can also refer to a professional relationship. There is a sense that you need to balance your ego with someone else's needs. A win-win outcome is possible with give and take. Doing so might be the answer to your question. And it mentions how you can attune to the Libra moon is let go of that which is falling away. So especially with this is actually the autumn equinox too, so it starts with fall. So whatever is falling away, if it's a dead leaf falling, let it fall, because it will eventually provide nourishment for you in the long run. No matter when you pull this full moon in Libra card, it encourages you to find a balance between your desires and those of the people around you. Balance is a very Libran energy, and the full moon brings this to a peak. Dramas and upsets bring partnerships to the fore. Libra energy also brings love energy. Negotiations are easier. Wow, so a good message. Especially if you have stuff falling away, sometimes just knowing that that it is meant to be and that it is for your highest good and that it'll end up being a win-win for you, sometimes that just helps. What I'm also going to do is pull a little extra message from you for the Queen of Moon Oracle deck here. Just see what additional message you have for your moon in Libra. Alright, so what additional message or two do we have for Libra? So the first card is Realization, and it's number 3. You can kind of look at that. It's a beautiful card. It's a giant keyhole. And I'll read that one first. With self-awareness comes realization. Knowledge is power. Self-examination of your role within a situation is important. Kind of the little phrase it gives for it is, I have timely self-awareness and act upon my realizations. This is the waxing crescent, and it says, as we move into the early waxing cycle, light begins to shine upon the shadows, illuminating what is. This is the beginning of a powerful process, realization. When we decide to really examine our lives without fear or favor, it can be hard. This is, no doubt, an act of courage. We might not like what we discover, after all, yet without self-awareness and the will to act upon those realizations, whether we perceive them as negative or positive, we do not get to change and grow. The realization that we have a pattern, a bad habit, or behavior that is causing us pain is a powerful position, even though we may feel worry and pain around this discovery. We can then take personal responsibility to change our situation since we know our current position. Knowing ourselves more completely enables us to accept ourselves more readily and to dare to love exactly who we really are. Wow. What a powerful message. Kind of comes in with this too, with those messages of what's falling away, let it fall away, and you know, a lot about realization and about understanding who we really are and being willing to grow and being willing to, you know, face those changes. One of the things with Libra is ruled by the planet Venus here, and Venus, of course, is known for the planet of love, but it's also how we love. And it's how we love ourselves. Do we love ourselves conditionally? You know, we're always can be our own worst critics, right? But can we learn to love ourselves unconditionally and celebrate who we really are? So, great card there. The other one here is Sovereignty, card number 41. Another beautiful card. Look, you hold your world in your hands. Beautiful card. Put those right there. Let me read that one too, since something had popped out for us. And this one is Queen of the Moon. Which, wonderful that this is your moon sign. You're queen of your moon. So you have sovereignty over your own life. Wow. Act with grace and confidence. You have the ability to unite disparate people and views, should you choose to do so. The buck stops with you. You are powerful. Act like it. And the little phrase it has for it is, I reign over my own realm. Wow. It says, goddesses of the moon are one of the oldest kinds of feminine divine and feature in mythologies from almost every corner of the globe. From Diana of ancient Rome and the Greek Artemis to the Semitic Astarte, I probably mispronounced that, and Hina from Polynesia. The link with the feminine divine and the lower planet and cycles is a strong one. So that might be, especially, I know we all have a moon sign, but I know like when the moon is in my sign, which is Pisces, my moon sign, I know it is like, it really pops a wall up during those times. It's more exaggerated and more extreme. So be aware of your lunar cycles too, and then you can know, prepare for that kind of intensity that comes with it. But these goddesses in all their myriad of forms were extremely powerful and demonstrated to women that they naturally had power as well. So we should strive to be the powerful queens of our own domain, even if we're men or women, right? Women especially have been socialized to defer, to keep small, to be quiet, and to hold a very twisted kind of service that borders on servitude. I know, right? While in many first world countries, women can choose to be what they wish to be on paper, women still experience inequality in most countries, in areas such as wage disparity and an imbalance of the numbers of women in government or in high-level board positions. However, what has been accepted in the past is not what will be accepted in the future. A new queendom is coming. When we reign over our own lives, it is us that take on the responsibility for our own change and decisions. The Moon Queen knows that we, just under the divine, are our own rulers, and as such, the buck stops here. Therefore, it is worth us investing in growing our own self-awareness and our own self-trust, self-care, and self-esteem in real and practical ways. We must, as any queen would, set firm boundaries to protect our queendom and those who are under our protection. This does not mean we become cruel rulers. We should always aim for benevolence, fairness, and a great love for all, as well as ourselves. It does mean we may have to push against those who do not respect our line in the sand. Wow. Very powerful, very self-empowering message that came through these cards today. It reminds me too, Queendom, there's an artist, Aurora, if you haven't heard of her. I'll put a link down below to her video on YouTube. but she has a song called Queendom, which is a really powerful, amazing song as well. All right, and what I'm going to do, I'll end this reading. I'm going to do just one little message card from this little Sweet Dreams deck here. Just as your final little message. All right. Connect. I create strong emotional connections with the important people in my life. And who are the most important people in your life? There you are right there, superstar. So connect with yourself, connect with your higher self, your angels, your guides, the Creator, and those other people in your life that bring unconditional love to you and support you. If you enjoyed this reading, if you wouldn't mind, you can click the like button below, and if you want to get notified of any other future readings that I'm doing here, if you want to click subscribe, that also helps my channel, and then click the little bell icon there, and then you'll be notified of any future videos that I'll be doing here. And I have started doing more regularly, so you'll be getting one here coming up soon. All right, well, thank you for taking the time to listen to this portion of the reading. I thank you, I wish you the best, and I love you. You take care.